All right, Barlow Brigade. Old Big Jim coming at y'all down here from the international headquarters for everything Barlow. This is all knife content. It's just that I got one knife that I'm going to share with y'all, what I consider to be my the pickup of the day. But I absolutely am overwhelmed. I don't have any way to process everything that I received today. And it just, all the things that I have acquired and were able to do today, it would be a 3-hour video, and I am wore slam out. Okay, I got to get some rest. I got to prepare myself. I've got to I got to go dig in the locker and find some more stuff to sell. I didn't sell a whole lot, and I'll get to that in just a minute of what I did, what did happen. But what I've done is I've while I was having a cup of coffee and while I was relaxing a bit to prepare for this video, I wrote down the things that I want to go over with y'all, and it's basically about people, okay? And that's what this community is about. It's about the people. We all love the pocket knives. We all know that. There's not anything that I'm not telling y'all anything y'all don't know, but what happened to me today was just amazing. Okay, and I'm going to go. I've written down about 6 or 7 different things here that have to do with certain people or groups of people, and so I'm going to do that for y'all now, and I hope y'all enjoy this, and but the only way anyway, okay. First of all, my host, Brother Rex Wiseman, and his wife Disha were absolutely. Of course, I know Brother Rex. I've known him for a minute. He is just an outstanding individual. He's forgot more about pocket knives than I know. Okay, I'm putting that out there to you. And here's the reason that I know that. I checked him today. He's got boxes and crates and just stuff and everywhere. So I reached down in one of them boxes and pulled one out. And I said, "Hey, Brother Rex, this thing's nice." He said, "Oh, that's a FBI folded hunter done in Stag that was done to memorialize a certain anniversary or something or another to do with the FBI." He said, "I picked that up here and did it, and blah, blah, blah." And I'm just going, because this was just a random knife I pulled out of a box. And this is not talking about the 2 or 3 tables worth of knives that he has sitting out there. Everything from a Boker Kalishnikov to a Parker Frost. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable what this man has on his table. And I'm just telling y'all that. Okay. His wife is absolutely a saint. Okay. She is just an angel, not a saint. Anyway, me and her, we had real good fellowship together the whole time. She's just cordial as she could be. She had to leave later on in the day and left me and Brother Rex there. I was like 2 peas in a pod. But anyway, he is an absolutely stunning individual. We got a double booth area set up, and there's in my part of the booth, which I don't have a whole lot of inventory, but there are 3 or 4 chairs in that area that if somebody needs to stop and take a break, they're tired, they can come over and sit down and and take a break. And that's the way when we set it up, we discussed that, and that's exactly Brother Dwayne, him and his wife came inside the booth, and they shared, and we anyway. So we'll move on with that. Okay, the special guest is the knife doctor, Mr. Kevin Bentley. such a gracious person, man. Just absolutely, uh, just a great guy. I don't. I mean, you know, I knew him as a figure on YouTube until I met him last year at the first show that Deep South did, well, not the first show, but the first big show they put on, and met him there. Broke bread with him that the first time. Broke bread with him yesterday. Well, I talked about that a little bit. Boy, that video I did last night was a total that was a cluster because I didn't get nothing right. Okay, nothing right. But anyway, Kevin Bentley, he is there. He's available. He has his friend with him, Mr. Snipes. They're knife buddies, but they've been acquaintances and they work together. But they've been friends, I think, since high school. Don't quote me on that because I really don't know. But anyway, y'all will, if you just walk up to him and say, "Hey, Doc, how you doing?" And that's all you got to say. He'll put his hand on your shoulder. He'll tell you, "I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing?" He's just a cordial, just a great individual. Okay, and that's why he's successful because he is who he is. Okay. Next, Brother Dwayne Clark. Man, I saw him walk in the door and make a turn towards the side of the building where we were at. He comes walking that way, and I turn around, and then, Brother Weissman he's got a electric wheelchair that he uses to get around, and I get around on my walker. And I went, Brother Rex, we got a Clark, Kentucky knife setting. And I'm talking about he dropped everything he had in his lap, and he goes, what? And I turned around and I said, look, right there. And he turned around, and Dwayne heard me say that, and he looked up and smiled at me, standing down there. And, I got out of my chair and got him, got my walker, pulled around there. And it was it's just as good as anybody thinks it should be, and that's exactly what it was. Went out there, got me a big old bear hug Miss Donna around, and we sat there and talked to each other, and I witnessed to him, and he witnessed to me, and Brother Rex, and of course they had their private powwow and all that. That's what them preachers do, And at this place, man, you couldn't drop a pocket knife and not hit a preacher on the foot. So, but that's a good thing. I mean, but that's how it is around here in the South. Okay, they kind of just go together. But Brother Dwayne, when there wasn't nobody looking, he, the little burlap bags that when I tell y'all I haven't been able to process, he slipped me a bag, a little more than a little burlap bag, and it's probably got five knives in it. I haven't looked. I did pull one of them out, and it's a saber pocket knife, a Barlow. That was just my looked in the bag, and it was sitting right there on top. So y'all know how I am about my saber pocket knife. Anyway, Brother Dwayne Clark, a wonderful person. I mean, everywhere, whenever he'd stop, there was a crowd around him the whole time. Just a great person. He's everything. He's just like the knife doctor. He's every dang thing that I thought he was before I ever met him in person. Okay, that's the kind of people that we're dealing with here. All right, our host there is a business called DeepSouthCutlery. I hadn't, there's nothing about that. Preacher Billy Ray, his wife Angela, Brother Seth, his wife, his daughter, his son, the entire family, Mr. Bobby, Chico, Joe, Kalen Cuevas, the whole crew. And I know I'm leaving somebody out because they probably 3 or 4 more of them. Every one of them were there to assist you, help you. If you had a question, if you needed something, they were there. An absolutely stunning host of an event. Okay, absolutely stunning. I mean, they're just, there's refreshments. There's everything you need is there. It's a very well run event. Uh, uh, Prince Billy Ray and his wife, they should be getting all the kudos that they deserve, because I'm telling you, this thing was done right. Okay, and that I don't know, I don't know. There's nothing really else I can say about that. Okay, okay. The booth right next to me is uh, where Bailey Lanier and his wife have set up the Silver Run Coffee Crafters exhibit. Okay, they have coffees available. They have taste testings. Uh, there's it's set up. It's run right. Those people know what they're doing, and they probably have. I don't. I hate to guess. I'm gonna say 8, 10, 12 different blends that are available for you to purchase at the show. I didn't get over there and discuss any of that with them, so I don't know if there's any specials going on or anything like that. But when you pick and you look across the building and you see me over there, just remember that just to my left is Silver One Coffee Crafters. Okay, and their website is on Facebook. They're they're tuning up their social media to get. Of course, they do their Facebook stuff pretty regular, so that's not that's not a it's not a surprise. Okay, these people they're on top of it. Okay, so and a good young couple that I have a lot of respect for. So uh, Silver Run Coffee Crafters right here in Stone County. They import beans from all over the world. They blend them, they roast them. Uh, if you've ever had a sip of any of their blends or their coffee, you already know. I don't have to tell you. So, but if you ever order a knife from Deep South Cutlery, during their auction, just tell them, say, throw me a bag of coffee in there, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Okay, it is that good. Okay, it's just that good. I'm telling you. Okay, now there is a new organization, and this group, even though they share very similar names, is actually not part of Deep South Cutlery, but there is an intense associate. It's like me being associated. I'm not on the staff or anything with Deep South Cutlery, but I am associated with them because I'm a member of their knife family, knife community family down there. That don't mean I get a special deal. I don't get nothing. I walked over and made a trade with Billy Ray just like anybody else. We could have walked over and made a trade with him. That's what he does. I mean, he's a nice guy, and he trades, buys, sells. Okay, appraises. There were people getting appraisals from. Well, I saw Tony. I can't call his last name, but Tony from. Anyway, he was sitting there, and an elderly gentleman walked in there with his shoebox, and he evaluated a knife for him. Tony did one for me, the little case Barlow that I got gifted last night from Jabberjaw. Me and him discussed that. I'm trying to find out what I can about it. So when next time I share it with y'all, I'll know. Okay, but Deep South Knife Club, Deep South Knife Club, is run by an individual named Juan Hernandez, and he and his family were there. I don't know if it's his entire family or not, but him and his wife and his daughter and their son-in-law were there. All just great people. Now they live in Florida. He is the I don't really know if he's the owner, the manager. Probably the owner, but he owns you know several thousand acres that is a strawberry where they grow. Some of the strawberries you probably eat during the year come from his strawberry farm there in Central Florida. So, but he's just a great guy, and I'm talking about his collection is okay. And the guys that he gets knives from were all there. All these vendors were there. Uh, I'm going to name like Reed, like Hoyle, like Ladner, all of these. When I tell y'all the major knife uh, sellers and facilitators in the Southeast United States, when I tell you they're there, they're there. Okay, um, you can get what you want if you need a knife of any type. You can find it at this knife show. Okay, I'm almost positive of that. But anyway, Juan Hernandez and his family, absolutely great, just unbelievable. Okay, now here's the deal. Um, the kids, that were at this event. Now, when they had the show back in October, I believe it was, I watched the kid take a preacher gave him a hat, DeepSouthCutlery hat. Well, this kid, and y'all might know, I think he's Heath Warren, Mr. Heath Warren Cliff, what I call him. Every time I call him Heath Warren Cliff, he puts a tag on my video, and I got to pay him, so he's got it copyrighted. But anyway, Heath Warren Cliff's son took a hat, and by the end of the day, he had 4 case knives, a fixed blade. You know, these kids go around and trade this stuff, unbelievable. Well, they were hitting me hard. Man, I got a Zippo lighter from one. Pretty nice Zippo, brand new. I traded for a sheath, a horn, a stag handled Rough Rider knife, and of course now each one of these trades I made with these children, I made sure that their parents were, I would look up, and some of them I knew their pawpaw, so I looked up over there, and I do the thing, the pawpaw thing, where I was, and he would shoot his shoulder. He said, he knows what he's doing. And I said, okay, so I would make the trade with these kids. I'd ask them if their parents were there, but after the third or fourth time they come by, and I'm selling Rough Rider stuff that easily, duplicates, things I had that were, not no high dollar stuff, and the stuff they were trading me I traded for a Volkswagen Swiss Army knife with a Volkswagen symbol on it. Okay, kid wanted a he wanted a jig bone canoe. I traded him. I mean, and he was good with it. His parents were good with it. So we moved on around. But anyway, the kids just, man, they were adorable. Man, I had one little girl. She couldn't have been much more than 5 years old. She walked up there and she had her little pillow purse, her arm through her little pillow purse. It's a thing about this big around, pink pillow purse. And she says, "Can I trade my pocket knife for you?" And I said, "Young lady, certainly you can. But we got to make sure the papa's okay with it, and I want you to get what I want to make sure it's what you want." Well, I had a little old timer peanut sitting in one of my boxes there. I had 3 boxes set up: a $15 box, a $10 box, a $15 box, and a $20 box. And in each one of those boxes there were 6, 8, 10 knives. And she reached in the $15 box and pulled out that little old timer peanut, and her eyes just lit up, and she was like and she pulled out a Ozark Trails camp knife. Okay, I don't know how much it's worth. I ain't never seen one. It's orange, so I liked it just because it's orange. But it had, it had the scissors, had the blades, had the can openers, had all that stuff. 3 or 4 different punches, but no corkscrew. So that was a big thing. But I would have traded if it had 7 corkscrews on it. I'd have traded her. I'm talking about, she unzipped her little purse and pulled that thing out and put it on the table. I couldn't get that peanut out of that box fast enough. I handed it to her. I said, "There you go, baby girl." I said, "I hope you enjoy it." And took that Ozark Trail camp knife, checked all the blades on it, good snap, put it in my I had a box on the table where I was putting all that stuff, and she put that little peanut in that little pillow purse and zipped it up, flipped her arm back through it, and walked off. And man, it's almost getting to me now just talking about it. Okay, and that's the deal, man. We got to keep this the community growing, and someday she may be a huge YouTube star doing knife videos on her papa's pocket knife. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I know one thing: I pushed her to where in the right direction, and that makes me feel real good. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna share with y'all is I had a gentleman, and then we're gonna do a pocket knife. I'm gonna show y'all a pocket knife. A gentleman walked up and was looking in my boxes, and he said, I'm set up down here on the other end, and he said, I got a whole box full of $1 pocket knives. He said, you want to look at them? And I said, well, yeah. I said, I'll come on down in a minute and look at them. He said, oh, that's okay. I said, all right. I love, I always look at pocket knives. And so he goes down there, probably 20, 30 minutes later, comes walking back up with a box. It looked like an eBay box that he had, repurposed and put his, made a dollar box out of it. And he walked down there and set it on the table, and he said, look through them. So I started digging through there, and I found something. Now, I knew what it was, but it was rough. Now, I took some of OHT favorite say, that mother's polish. I took me a little polishing cloth and a chamois down there to, if I found something that, maybe one of my knives was a little rough, I would just give it a little buff, and which I did. I tried to keep it all polished up, looking good. So, ain't nothing like curb appeal. But I want y'all to look. This is what I got. I mean, this is okay. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it says elk horn. Y'all saying elk horn? We never heard of that. Elk horn. Y'all can get that. All right. Japanese. Look at this half stop. Okay. Now, if I get that tang stamp in there, but it says I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it, but it says Elkhorn Surgical Steel 1980. On the back side, it says Taylor Cutlery, Japan. Now, I know right now, somewhere in Florida, there's a gentleman that has a channel called That Pocket Knife Guy. Okay. I can promise you he's going, Lord have mercy. Where did he get it? What is that? And where does that come from? And you're right, bro, Tom. I paid $1 for this. $1. The only problem I have is I can't tote it tomorrow. I got a special tote tomorrow. So it's gonna be a tote for somebody. Of course, I have to have my More Maker in my Make Cutlery Great Again. Y'all go watch his video about Stephen Jeffries. I have to special tote that I'm gonna do tomorrow, and in honor of somebody or in the. But anyway, all y'all need to know, man, that I had a wonderful day. I was tired. I can't even, I don't know that I'll be able to. I'll probably fall asleep sitting right here. I am tired, and I got so much I need to do. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in there and go to sleep now. And when I get up to probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock to do my old man duties. I have to do it about halfway during the night. I'll start preparing for tomorrow. I'm gonna go in there and just I'm gonna throw the locker in a box and bring it out there and just put it on the table. And I'm gonna get in there where I fit in there. Okay. If y'all are able to make it there, the welcome booth is over there when you walk in the door. It's right over to the right, about the third booth down on the right hand wall. It's where Brother Rex Whiteman and the Barlow Brigade are set up. Brother Blades and More and the Barlow Brigade. I'm telling you, can't miss it. We just a couple big old boys. I'm on a walker and he's in a rolly wheelchair. And we talk your ears off. I can promise you we talk your ears off. And you'll love every minute of it. So we just old down home country boys that just love their pocket knife. All right, guys. That's 26 minutes of me sitting here talking about stuff that ain't really got a whole lot to do with pocket knives, but it's all about pocket knives or knives. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell y'all that I love each and every one of you. I'm glad that you're a member of my channel. And just remember, old Big Jim, like he always has to say, rule number 9.